Welcome everyone to another Reviews from Hell. I'm Andreas. We have the lovely Christina, she's back, and we're here to talk about my 15 worst shit bomb diarrhea pieces of crap turd movies of 2017. Now, let's start with some dishonorable mentions, shall we? I have some because I saw so much shit. I just couldn't do this without putting at least some mentioning of these certain movies. Now, let's go quickly. Number one, worst on my dishonorable mentions, Death Note. Now, Death Note, again, we said it with Christina, I'm not going to go too far into it. Movie, a lot of potential, had so many chances just to do something really unique. I didn't mind they're not putting the Asian actors in this and stuff. I never mind that as long as you can do it good. And they didn't. It fell flat. Crap. Okay. Book of Henry. Another movie that could have been something. Started off quite decent. A movie that I didn't even review, actually, if I'm not mistaken. And it's just so confusing how they managed to fuck up a movie that started off quite decent and made it into a big pile of a mess. Naomi Watts, a great actress. The kid, I can't remember his name from It, and you know he's really good. He's really good, and they all got a lot of talent in this movie. But they it's like they was making it, and somewhere in the middle they got drunk, and they just let's just do that, and it just failed. The Circle again. Well, we've mentioned this before. It was on your top.
It was 15. The most meh movie.
Yes, a big mess of a movie, very boring. That just led to nothing. Okay, we have Fast 8. Now, what could a list be without at least one of the Fast and the Furious movies go on here? This movie's a piece of shit, just like the previous ones are, and like the rest of them are going to be. We have, unfortunately, Hangman. Now, Hangman, it was on your list too. Again, we're not going to go too far into it. It's a shame because you have such a nice cast, a good plot. It could have been a really good thriller, but I think it was the directing and the production was just somewhere in another planet. Okay, we have Underworld. I don't even know which one this is. I think it's 5, but I'm not sure because nobody asked for this movie, but they feel that it's a need for it to be made.
People forgot about it. Yeah, they had to go previously.
Yes, like they actually had to put a preview in the beginning of the movie. What happened before? That's how much people fucking forgot about this movie. And then the last dishonorable mention, Resident Evil. Hopefully this piece of shit franchise is finally finished because I've had enough. It is such a good game, and except for the first Resident Evil movie, I think the rest of them just went down the toilet. So we've got the dishonorable mentions out of the way. Let's go for number 15. Again, movies that you haven't seen. I have more tolerance when it comes to shitbombs. So, number 15, King Arthur. Now, when you say King Arthur and Guy Ritchie in the same sentence, a big question mark comes in my head because I like Guy Ritchie movies. I've seen quite a few of them. I like the Sherlock Holmes ones. I like Snatched. I like Lock, Stock and Barrel, and they all have that Guy Ritchie-ness in, and it works.
Is it their accents?
It's the way he directs them. It's the way he puts things in order. It goes. Here, it just felt so misplaced. It was like a movie made for Charlie Dunham to take his t-shirt off. I don't mind seeing a guy that's ripped, take his t-shirt off in a movie. No, don't get me wrong. It doesn't, as long as there's a point to it. Not him on some kind of roid rage for no reason in the movie. Yes, seriously, you haven't seen it. You don't fucking judge. There was just one random scene. He's like, ah, and this like it's like a training montage, and it was shit. And it's just like 5 seconds of his t-shirt off.
Me, let's watch this, and I kind of read what it was about, and I just said watch it when I'm at work. Yeah. So
stay away if you haven't seen it. No, you're not missing anything. Number 14. We have another amazing opportunity that was just blown in the wind. Dark Tower. Now, fuck's sake, you have Idris Elba and Matthew McConaughey. I didn't even mind it put Idris Elba in this role. Again, I don't mind if you change the race colour, as long as men play the men and the women play the women. That's where I draw the line usually.
Yeah, same here, actually.
I don't mind as long as the movie's made good. You know, if the director, the script, everything works, why not? But you cannot put 3 huge Stephen King book movies into 1 hour and 28 minutes. It just doesn't work. This movie was rushed. It was sloppy. The visuals were meh, and it was just boring for a movie that shouldn't be fucking boring.
If you think about Randall Flagg, you think of Matthew McConaughey.
I mean, he was perfect. He was perfect, I think. But
I watched 20 minutes, and then I thought I don't want to lose what I have with the book, so I just stopped.
Okay, so number 13, XXX: The Return of Xander Cage.
And I didn't watch it. I gave it an X.
Yeah, because 15 years later, I think it was 15 years after number 1, they thought, people have been asking for number 3. No, we haven't. They made number 2 with Ice Cube, and that was terrible. Nobody liked that.
Nobody liked
and they actually thought they had the balls to give him a cameo in this movie, as if anybody fucking remembers number 2. And, was saying, what's missing on this shit bomb of crap? Ice Cube. Why not put him in it? Because, everyone would be going like, yeah, that's fucking cool. No, we didn't say that. Actually, the Ice Cube came on the screen at this exact point when I said this movie can't get any worse.
And it did.
And it fucking did. And that's why it's only 13, because my expectations were shit from the beginning, but it managed to surprise me nonetheless. Okay, let's go a bit faster now, because I don't want to be here all day spending too much time on these crap movies. 12, Split. Again, we've talked about this. I think you gave it you put it higher in your list of shit movies.
Yeah.
This movie I didn't like, even before the crappy
I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Twist at the end, right? Again, we said it's way too convenient. Things that were happening in the movie just didn't make sense, and it was just a cheap ending just to try and give you some shock factor.
If I could use one word to describe Split, it would be clickbait.
Yeah, disappointed. Okay, we have number 11, Rough Night. One of those movies again that we've talked about. Just a rip-off of a better movie. Just changed the roles, got rid of the men and put the women, and none of them are funny.
Failed.
None of them are funny. And that's just about it. And it's a movie that's predictable as shit. We have Rings. Now.
Rings.
Yeah. Rings is a movie again, a horror movie that we did not ask for, but was made anyway, just for cash grab. So it's like you just got, number 1, put a lower budget, got rid of, the good CGI and just put really crap one, really bad actors, bad script, bad production, cheap jump scares that didn't work. You put people from Big Bang Theory try to play
High School Students?
No, there was one of the actors, sorry, there's only one from the Big Bang Theory, I can't remember his name, and he's trying to play like a tough, like a badass.
No, you can't be a nerd and a badass.
And everybody in this movie is a dumb shit. Everybody knows that the video kills you, and everybody buys HD TVs and downloads it and streams it. So I can't feel sorry for you if you're that dumb.
Yeah, bye.
Okay, now next, The House. Will fucking Ferrell. I tell you what.
Didn't watch it. Sorry.
He is a funny guy when he's giving the right things to work with. He has something that could work sometimes. Unfortunately, it worked 20 years. If a joke worked 20 years ago, it's not going to work for the next 20 years.
Yeah, probably.
It's the same shit. It's the same things. He's saying the same stuff. He's being Will Ferrell that he was and will probably always be in his movies because that's just him. But even worse in this movie, is Amy Poehler. I think that's her name. Poehler, whatever. All right, she is absolutely wasted in this movie. It looks like they just told them the story and say, do whatever the fuck you like. We do not care. Just make a movie out of this.
Yeah, this
all right?
was based on improvisation.
Here. This is the napkin, right? And this is the script written on this napkin. Take it, Do whatever you like. Because,
don't mind the shit sticks.
Yeah, don't worry. Yeah, we blew our nose with this, wiped our ass. Just do whatever you like with this script here. Okay, next we have the Emoji Movie, which probably, as I said, is not a movie, is a big advertisement for old Android and Apple, iOS, whatever, applications that people don't use anymore. This movie is a big poo. Okay, going next, because we talked about this. Flatliners. Again, we talked about this one too. This movie was flat as shit. Failed completely when it came to acting, script, story. They could have... this is one of the movies that it's probably worse that it's a sequel and not a remake. Because it could have kind of worked,
as
maybe.
A sequel, yeah, people trying it again, blah, blah, blah. And that way the cameo of Kiefer Sutherland would have worked as somebody who did it.
Yeah, they could have taken it that way, maybe, or
that's how I thought it was going to go.
It could have been their kids. I don't know, something else. But this just another movie you didn't see. Next one is number 6. Geostorm.
I saw bits. Didn't need to see more.
Geostorm with Gerald Butler. It's one of these cheesy disaster movies. Now, I'm not expecting anything from these movies except for some really good visuals, and even there, most of the time, it did kind of fell flat. But at least with other cheesy movies like Armageddon and The Day After Tomorrow, you had people that you cared for in the movie, and that's what made it cool.
Yes.
Armageddon's story is bollocks, but
it is bollocks, but it's nice
because you've got so much charisma. You've got Steve Buscemi, you've got Bruce Willis. Oh God, I can't even remember all the.
Even like Billy Bob.
Billy Bob Thornton. I mean, even he was likable. You've got all the, and you what's his name? Batman. Ben Affleck. You've got you've got a likable Ben Affleck in this. You actually managed, and it worked. This movie has none of that, with even bigger bullshit story on top. And that's why...
How does a Scottish man have an American brother?
Yeah, and his accent just comes and goes whenever it likes. Number 5, The Snowman.
Oh, it was my number 2.
Okay, so we have probably the most boring thriller of the year, the most dull thriller of the year. We have the sleepiest Michael Fassbender ever.
We had to watch it twice because we both fell asleep the first time, so we had to start it again.
He was so high making this movie. He was just like, "Hey, wake up, wake up!" And he was just like pausing and for no reason. And then you're trying to get over J.K. Simmons' accent in this movie, and it's just laughably horrible. You have a stupid snowman that doesn't even look like threatening at all. It's his calling card, and it looks like it was made by children. Yeah. Anyway, number 4, Baywatch.
It was my number 4 as well, I think.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Baywatch failed for all the same reasons that most comedies failed of 2017. It's stuff we've seen before. If you've laughed at the joke once, they make sure they repeat it 3 or 4 times in the movie, just in case you missed that, that juiciness of that joke. It's a movie that kind of cries at you and says, "Please laugh.
Like me.
Please.
Like me.
Please, I'm begging." Even The Rock came out and said, "You don't fucking understand this movie." Yeah, whatever. This movie, everything that's in it has been done. If you haven't watched it, don't. Just watch Jumanji. It's much better version. It's what Baywatch coulda, shoulda, woulda been if it was made correctly.
Yeah.
Okay, we have number 3, Transformers. Michael Bay strikes again with the 5th installment of this crappy franchise. Fucking hell, he's promised us lots of more, unfortunately. This is probably the worst one out of all of them when it comes to plot. It's not the worst one when it comes to visual effects, I think.
No.
Because the visual effects, for me, are always good. Some are better than others, but I think the visual effects did work. You can see the fight scenes, everything, and that's why it's number 3. For a long time, I had this at number 1.
So did I.
Just for the visual effects, I toned it down to number 3 because nothing, and I mean nothing else works in this movie. And it's the 5th chance you've had it. You've had,
Can you imagine Mark Wahlberg as a scientist?
No.
A copper, yes. A scientist?
Yeah, no, no. Okay, number 2, 50 Shades Darker. Now,
it was my worst movie.
I don't need to go into too much detail why this movie sucks. I haven't seen the third one yet. The reviews have come out. Everybody says it sucks. I can't see anything saving this movie because apparently it's from a really shitty book. And it's, again, this movie's been made for horny 40-year-old women that don't get enough sex at home and just want a really stupid, just want a silly night out, a girls' night out, and just an excuse basically to watch porn that's not even good. I mean, the one thing this movie could have and should have been strong at, well, people don't care about the story and the acting. They want the sex. They want the fucking.
It wasn't good.
And when you can't do that right, when there's no chemistry there, and when they all talk about a big, like they're all kinking, and really,
where is it? It's a couple of slaps.
And
then he gives her Advil after.
A couple of slaps and some awkward lipstick marking.
Oh,
like your limit, showing the limitations, your boundaries.
And what about this blonde actress? What's her name?
Kim Basinger.
Oh God.
And Kim Basinger's
Botox.
Kim Basinger's Botox and trying to act and be emotional at the same time just doesn't work. No. This movie sucked.
I've lost respect for everyone that likes it.
So, without any further ado, number one, the shittiest movie of this year. One woman, one movie. Snatched. This piece of shit movie. Hold on, you're not even allowed to be in the camera for this. This piece of shit movie. Okay, you can get out.
Hi.
Is the movie that angered me the most of 2017. There is not one joke that even tries to be good in this movie. This movie pissed me off, and the fact that Goldie Hawn came out of retirement for this turd while her husband was making Guardians of the Galaxy 2. What the fuck happened here? Why does this movie even exist? This movie is not just unfunny, it's offensive. Not to me, to be honest. I feel sorry for women because women always complain that they're not enough in movies, or men say that women aren't funny enough and stuff.
And this is what you do.
And if this is the answer, then you know what? Go fuck yourself. You deserve all the backlash you get. Fuck Amy Actually, I wouldn't do that. Just go.
Please don't.
Yeah, I won't. Just sod off. Stop making any fucking stand-ups. Stop your bloody... Because you're just proving all the sexist guys right. Because you're it's crap.
There's one reason that I didn't watch this movie. I refused, and it was Amy Schumer. I don't respect her. I think she gives women a bad name. She's a slag. With every meaning of the word.
Yeah,
slag.
it is the worst comedy I've seen in the last 10 years, and that's with Dumb and Dumber 2. Okay, guys. So, that was my 15 worst movies of the year. Get ready for our best movies of the year.
No, we're talking about shit bombs!
Yeah, we did.
We did it.
Alright, guys. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm Andreas. This is Christina. See ya.